So for the what's the episode? Yeah,
Episode 7.
of the Bomb Podcast. This is Chandni. I'm Anshika, and we are your hosts for the evening, as every other evening. And today we were out of topics, but then we decided to ready fire aim, and we're gonna talk about something called a chain of mentors. And we don't really have like a structure to it. It's just a very simple idea, but I'll sort of set the premise for you, and then you can take it up, Chani.
Yeah.
I really admire Taylor Swift as an artist. Okay. And I've always wanted to sort of just know more about her life. And she's really big. So there's not much about her personal life on the internet. For example, Conan Gray is somebody, jiska YouTube channel hai. So you can find a lot of his old life content, what he likes, what he dislikes, the artists he follows, all of that. With Taylor, I can't. But something I'm really curious to know is what kind of music influences her writing process, her thinking process. What does she really like? What does she enjoy? Stuff like that. And that is sort of like, it just came to me someday that something you could do with your creative journeys is that look into what your super admired people are looking at, and it'll probably give you just like a wider canvas to explore and learn from.
Yeah.
So that's
That is a great premise. And I'll tell you where I came across it and how, and it was like, it wasn't with somebody. Oh, so it was, I just graduated from college and I joined Seapuri, right? Like it was at that time. And when I joined, there were just two people, like two partners sort of running this setup. For those of you who are new here, Seapuri is a communications collective that both Anshika and I are a part of. And it was just two people. And while my role didn't have a name per se, today when I look back at it, it was a founder's office role, right? So I worked with two of these people. Now, both of these people were 10 years apart from each other and 20 and 10 respectively apart from my age, right? So I was essentially working with two very, very different people trying to build a culture first organization with very different approaches. Now, this sort of created a chain, right? Now, we didn't have a hierarchy per se. The three of us would sit often in rooms and jam on ideas like it's a round table with no hierarchy. But what happened was I had a different dynamic in relationship with both these people. So one of them was my mentor directly. He introduced me to this other person who was middle, right? In the middle age-wise, right? And even experience-wise, naturally. The reason I'm emphasizing on age and experience is because I first, with my mentor, got to experience how, he thinks about life, about work, about building an organization, and then was introduced to somebody who he was a mentor to also, right? Anshika, tell me if this is confusing. I don't know, draw it better and tell you. But it makes sense.
also know things, so I think I have a better grasp.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah, and I don't know, to like reiterate, essentially, I was speaking to two people, and the main person was mentors to both of us, right? And because the person in the center, like age-wise and experience-wise, they were also working very closely with me, I got to learn from them as well. This was, yes, you should draw. Yes. And then, yes, perfect. Exactly, right? This was essentially the sort of setup I worked in. Now, what that did was I had a mentor, and I think every young person who stumbles upon people who believe in them, who support them, is really, really lucky in life. And like any other kind of luck, you can also sort of seek this, right? You can choose this. And we'll talk about that next, probably. We'll come back to that. But I got a chance to work with two people with very different approaches and have the knowledge trickle down from this one person. This chain of mentors we thought was brilliant for two reasons. One, because of that trickle down effect of knowledge and learning and approaches. Second, because in life in general, you always need and have different kinds of people for all your relationships, right? Think about it. Like I know they talk about this in the sense with their partners, but I will say, like, you have a different relationship with your parents, you have a different relationship with your friends. Even among your friends, there are friends you just chill with, there are friends you go to, to have, I don't know, a deep conversation with, right? Even at work, even with your colleagues, you have those different sets of relationships. So when you join a team, your reporting manager hopefully becomes this person you can confide in, you learn the most from. But you also need a peer at work to share your sort of work with, right? For example, Anshika and I are peers at work, right? We are almost similar in age, we do similar work, and we get to learn from each other from this peer perspective. But these are two ways I think the chain of mentors has helped us. And Anshika, do you want to like relate this to how it applies to learning from Guru's Guru? Like how we have applied this sort of setup thing to everybody in life in general?
A very simple idea actually. Movie देखी है जय हो वाली where he's like आप मेरी help मत आप मुझे thank you मत बोलो next 3 लोगों की help कर देना, right? So similarly, find that one mentor that you have and then ask them, dude, who are the 3 people you really admire? And go talk to them if you can, go read about them if you can't talk to them, meet them, and learn everything there is to learn from them. And then do that once more with all these 3 people. So 3, 3, 3. 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. You have a set of 13 mentors, like a big training institute of your own. And I think with this set of people, asking them what they are interested in, what they want to learn about, what their viewpoints are, you'll probably find many conflicting things, and you'll see the final person that you're meeting is like an amalgamation, but also a balance of all of this combined. And that's just an example of, say, the collective knowledge of a group being better than like one individual's. So you'll probably be better off. And yeah, just do that. I think it's a very simple idea.
Yeah, but it's
I,
not talked about. Like I don't.
I'll tell you what there is to talk about with it. So what happens is, if I have a mentor and if I go out and ask who are your 3 mentors, for example, and they tell me that X, Y, and Z. Now these people are also probably older people. And then what happens is it's really hard to talk to older people because, oh, you're a young kid. What do you go and tell them? So probably that's a problem. And yeah, we can help you solve it because Shani has thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I was thinking about this too, right? I don't know. Imagine like for a 22-year-old, your mentors are probably older, right? In some cases, it's just like 5 years older. In Anshika, in my case, our people that we really look up to. And not in a sense that, like what I mean by that is we like they act as advisors in terms of like our life and work, right? These people are way older, right? For both of us. And most times it is that if we were to meet our mentor's mentor, they are just really busy people in life, like they have really like a lot of things going on, and like most ambitious older people, they their time is really valuable. And often Anshika and I chat about this, that hey, if I'm texting a founder who is I don't know, busy all the time, why would she take our time to talk to us, right? Why would that person, why would they speak to us? We probably have to pick their brains, but what's in it for them, right? And that's probably another thing we wanted to talk about today, because there is no other way to learn except to go out in the world and speak to other people. But how do you do that without providing equal value? We've learned, not yet applied, that you may not always provide an equal amount of value, right? That's one. And it is okay. This morning, like there was, something happened that made me realize that you just have to find people who are willing to listen to you, who see some sort of resemblance in what you're trying to build and are there for that, right? Not everybody in the world wants to listen to what you're trying to do and help you out without immediate return, right? And that is the first thought. So you may not always provide equal value. If you are, I don't know, just a new coder and you want to reach out to somebody on LinkedIn who's been doing like brilliant work and you feel like you will waste your time with them, sorry, they will waste your time with you, you should still about you should still think about the fact that one, it's okay to text them, right? What if they are willing to help out somebody because somebody else helped them, right? Like a lot of people are willing to do that. That's one. Second would be that you don't know the kind of value you're providing. I remember, Anshika, you want to talk about that table we were at breakfast? And
I know, yes. I've been thinking about that conversation ever since it happened. We met somebody called Mridika Rasinghani. We'll probably link her somewhere. She gave us really beautiful advice about how we as young people feel we don't add value to any conversation that we have with older people because they obviously know more than us. And she told us that you think that you don't add value, but because we get to interact with you, we get to say the world from a different perspective, get to know what the children are thinking. Children, I mean, she didn't use the word children, but what you all are thinking, the newer, younger generation. And also, like, some ideas just click. Something that I've always thought of is also that if I present you with this very general idea or a canvas or whatever, until and unless you do not have the capability in you to find something beautiful in that, you'll probably not find it. I'll do a better job of explaining it. If I tell you that, say, stillness is key, you can think of it in 1,000 different ways, but you'll be only able to do that if you have that rich imagination and rich culture in your brain to be able to do that. So with most people, you might think you don't have enough, but people who are elder to you probably have enough culture and imagination in their heads to connect it to even more things and connect it to more ideas and probably find inspiration for something in life. And maybe not, might not always be true. It's just a theory. But yes, what happened? Why is it freaked out?
No, no, I'm not freaked out. No, I'm thinking, because that's a beautiful thought. I didn't think of that. And I think it is so much to do with confidence also, right? Like, it is so much to do with going into a room and feeling like this will be fine. Like, you will still, and I'll tell you where that confidence comes from for me, right? Like, and these are very, very simple things that, Anshika, and I think you and I, like, I don't know if you do it intuitively, but I have learned it. If I'm texting somebody who is like probably very busy, I know that, they will provide more value to me than I will. I make sure to do my homework, for example. Like, I will never go into a call without having a specific ask, without having some introduction practice to not waste their time, right? For example, I mean, you and I can talk like about everything 1,000, like, so long, right? But I make sure to sort of one do my homework about them and then pick out the most relevant things to say to them, then, right? And
Correct.
that one gives me the confidence that
Work. The just doing your homework and researching does not help. You also have to figure what part of the conversation you are supposed to lead with. So that.
and most times making them comfortable by telling them what is it that you're expecting out of them, right? Like, when you call DM somebody without, I don't know, when there's no product, when there's no like idea, but you're telling them that, hey, there's something in your head you want to talk about, right? But it's very sensible. I think doing your research and sort of like connecting the dots there and entering that call gives you all the confidence. At that time, you're not thinking about providing value anymore because you're well prepared, and even then, if it's not taken well, you at least know you did your part, right? And that's okay. You'll meet all kinds of people, I think.
If you also do your homework, you're not meeting a stranger. Like in your like you know as much as there was to know about the person. So there's this sense of comfort that you as a person have because you're meeting them for the first time, but you've known them on the internet. So
Yeah.
that just thing it makes it easy, makes it makes it easier. Huh?
Makes
Makes
it,
it
yeah.
yeah.
It reminded me of a funny thing that, and this is not funny, I'm not talking this to anybody, okay? But so I help out with hiring at C4E, right? Like, so every time somebody's, sorry, can you hear the lorries outside? No. You
No,
can,
I cannot. No, I
oh,
cannot. But I know what you're gonna talk of, and oh my god.
what? No, this one I've not told anybody. I don't know. Maybe you've guessed it. I don't know. Okay. So each time I send them an email saying, hey, can we schedule a call? I want them to feel, so I don't know if it's trust or not, but I've noticed that not everybody checks my LinkedIn and comes and speaks to me, right? As much as it is not the best for them, I think I want them to check it and come because they are more comfortable when they do so. They know who they're talking to, right? So from my side, I sometimes attach my LinkedIn telling them in case you want to look this up. And every time I do that, or at least the first time I did that, I felt so weird and felt so much like I don't know what this high horse I'm sitting on that I want somebody to see my LinkedIn, and it was not that. That's how I felt, right? Like I was like, why? I mean, they will look it up, but I've noticed that not everybody does, and when I'm attaching,
Because even if them too, I don't think a lot of
exactly,
people.
right? Yeah, but from my side, so first time, like first few times I felt like I'm on a high horse. Second, then I realized I'm just making sure that I give them a nudge to do this and come, because when they do then come on that call, they're not very nervous anymore, right? They
Oh
know.
yeah, it's all easier for both of you.
Exactly. But I don't know, first few times I felt like that I don't know what, like I want so high horse, but I don't think it's that. So
You know what? I'll tell you what. So when my interview with Ipuri, and of course I talked to you. I talked to Saurabh first and then you somehow.
yeah. Yeah.
But um, I looked up your LinkedIn, and back then you were not posting much. In fact, even on Instagram, you were not posting much. Nowhere
Even
was
now.
there
Yeah.
a lot of Chandni content. So I didn't find much to know you. You just seem like a very quiet kid, which you're not. But I remember asking you also, dude, तू बोलती नहीं है क्या? कॉल में क्यों नहीं बोल रही
I
थी?
remember that because I think you told me that you had seen a lot of me on Saurabh's profile, but on call I was quiet, which you were curious about. But now you know, like it was.
You seem like a chatty person, but you were not chatty, so that was a little weird. But when I found, oh, by the way, when I found your LinkedIn, all I found was like, I don't know, your vitamin C thing and your C4E thing or something there. And then
Yeah.
I found your mail and I found your phone number. And my first thought was, should I call her and just prank her? For no.
Oh God, I would have told Saurabh that I think this is a little creepy, like really smart person we must like work with, but that was a little creepy. I don't know what's my phone number doing on LinkedIn. What do you?
Phone number and email on LinkedIn. I told you to remove it. You removed it
I'm
now.
trying to remove. It doesn't go away. Phone number, I didn't know. I'm gonna take this.
Removed. Your personal email is still on LinkedIn.
I'm gonna change that right after this call.
But yeah, I think that's about it. Looking for mentorship, interviews,
Yes.
yada yada
We
yada.
should talk about, I don't know what to look for in a mentor next time, but I don't know if I can ever like articulate that well, and if it'll be helpful. Maybe I'll think about it.
You can sit together and articulate in the call itself and figure out like what are the three things you want to look for in your mentor.
Yes, but we did this. Woohoo!
Context being that हमें कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा था and we made a long list of ideas and scratched all of them and then we decided to ready fire aim, which was the original idea that we canceled for the day.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.